MicroKorg, nice. I'm thinking about picking one of these up. I've been looking into it. I've been pining for it, in fact, because they're just so affordable and awesome.
Yeah. It's like you walk into Guitar Center and you almost inevitably are met with a big like display of several dozen of these, you know, stacked up in a pyramid with like some really realistic price. And it's like, oh, you know, and you see it every time you go in there and you're like, ah, the MicroKorg. Yeah, I've heard a lot about that thing. Next time, you know.
Maybe I'll pick one up on my way out.
Yeah, maybe I'll grab
like,
one on my way out.
It's like right next to the picks section. You know?
Yeah, it's totally.
Picks and straps and MicroKorgs.
Yeah,
you know?
string winders and MicroKorgs. It's like it's got a pretty everyman kind of vibe to it. But that said, I happen to have one, and I wanted to use it on the record. So we were able to get a lot of pretty good tones out of it, and it was mixed well, so it all turned out really good. It got a ton of use on the record, a ton of use.
Now, have you used the vocoder at all in there?
Yeah, actually, there's a song in which we do use the vocoder, and I think I wrote my own vocoder channel, but that's very loud.
That's lovely. Okay.
It's a lovely sound there. Yeah, that's probably not gonna work, but I do use this thing a lot. I think that just the output's too high. Hang on. Yeah.
Or it's just distortion.
It's the distortion on it.
We're using the little crate amp, so, you know.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Fender amp, actually.
But, you know, listen to the album, you'll hear it, so.
No, we were going to use it with a different microphone, but then I just even used the stock microphone that comes with it. I mean, it was really run and gun, but it turned out pretty good. It's the last track on the record. It's called Pleasure Ryland, actually, and sort of a long story on that one, but vocoder, several different bass synths, clavinet tones, and strings too. Everything. It was great.
Nice. Now, I mean, what was the main inspiration for that track? What were you trying to aim for? What type of feel?
I wanted to do something. I have this friend Danny. He plays actually a lot of really good funk music, and I wanted to do this funkadelic kind of thing where they just have like a long vamp and just a riff that kind of repeats through the whole song, and then, you know, with a lot of like spacey. This one. You know, spacey sounds or whatever you want to call them, I don't know. And it got a pretty neat psychedelic sound by the end of it. It's the last song on the record, so it's kind of meant to be maybe an outro or not a throwaway, but just kind of.
It really sounds like a West Coast hip hop track. Like,
yeah,
if we ever made a video for it, it'd be like a party of people getting out of the trunk of a car for like half an hour. So.
And just like people getting doused with champagne like in slow mo,
exactly.
And like, you know what I mean, 24 frames per second, just like bikinis and like, you know, flesh out.
Total party.
Money, hoes, drugs. It's, you know, we have all the elements.
Okay, so Alex, you ever mess around with these things?
I'm actually a really big fan of the Korg MS-2000. That's my choice.
Awesome.
Which our keyboard player has, which we're going to be bringing out on tour, using for some of our new songs to do some bass synth and stuff like that. I used to have one back in the day, but it got shredded completely. It
You
broke.
Have one? Oh, that stinks, man. I didn't know that. That's a bummer.
Broke.
I hate thinking about gear that you used to have that you don't have anymore that you loved a lot.
It kind of hurts a little bit.
It's like the girl that got away.
Yep.
The gear that got away.
The gear.
The gear that got away.
You know what I got recently, actually, that I'm really into is Reason for my computer. And, you know, I have, like, my MIDI controller and all that stuff, and it's, like, amazing. You can do everything on that shit, so.
Have you checked out the demo for Reason 4 yet?
No. I saw it, actually. Yeah, I saw it, but I haven't, like, tooled around with it at all. It looks pretty intense.
Yeah, you should pick that up. It's pretty cool.
2.5, so, you know, I'm a little in yesterday. I got to get with today.
Yeah, we're all for that. We're all for computer emulation when it comes to, you know, sometimes you can't, like I have a great Poly 6, but it's this big clunky thing. It's like from 1982. I can't bring it on tour, so we're all about using whatever means we have to emulate synthesizers.
We also did use a lot of Reason on the new record. A lot of beats from Reason, just a lot of layering and sampling from Reason, and a lot of synthesizers. And we also used actually a lot of GarageBand, ironically enough. But
whoops.
Yeah, well, Patrick Stump, who produced our record, he's like, I love GarageBand. I was like, really? Can we, like, you know, work on like Logic maybe or something? He's like, no, we got to do GarageBand. I was like, all right. And he found all these really cool tones and stuff too from there. So.
When he said it at first, I was like, really? We'll find. I was like, we'll get vintage stuff and we'll make it sound like that. But you know what? It sounded great, and we got to use it.
It's well designed enough to do that. I'm surprised, but at the same time, I mean, you can make if you have any gear, you can make it do something quality. It's just a matter of knowing how to use it.
Yeah, totally.
Well, we wrote pretty much the whole record while we were on the Honda Civic tour with Fall Out Boy. we had like the rest of the night off, so we're like, let's just start writing a record and put out another record like within a year from our first record. Anyways, we have all this time to do it. And Patrick's like, I want to produce it, so we did the whole thing on our laptops, which is why we used a lot of Reason from the start, and he used a lot of GarageBand to like come up with ideas for cool parts and things. So.
Yeah, we didn't have. We just used the resources that were around us because we didn't have anything to do. It was, a Fall Out Boy tour, so the venues were arenas and amphitheaters and stuff, which are traditionally in really industrial, remote areas of cities. So it's not like you can just run and go see a movie. We were just sitting around, sitting on our hands basically. So we had all this free time to tool around with stuff and bounce it off of Patrick, and that's ultimately how the record was conceived.
Again, back to the Dream Gear thing.
Yeah.
Synthesizers. What do you want?
I really want a Nord. I want an electro or a lead. I feel like for tour they're the most versatile keyboards. They have the best Rhodes emulation. They have the best Wurlitzer emulation, and the organs, the B3, all of it. It can do everything that I feel like I would like to be able to do. Alex.
I don't know what my dream keyboard would be. I really actually for touring stuff like that. Like I'd love to get a computer rig and be able to use Reason Live. I haven't really picked out my dream keyboard yet. I'm not a massive keys guy. So.
Oh no, I picked up on that. Yeah. I mean, do you have a bass you want?
Guilty.
No.
Okay, just
Actually, I've been looking lately, and there's no bass that I want. Nothing tickles me right.
But you a lot of times you want like a body shape, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's not the best bass. You know what I mean? Like you wanted.
Yeah, like I was like, I want to get a Gibson Ripper, right?
Yeah,
but then somebody's like, dude, it's gonna kill your shoulder. And I was
Yeah.
like, you're right. You know what? I don't want a Gibson
Or
Ripper.
Phantom. You should get a Phantom bass.
Yeah.
And it's just doesn't make sense though. You know what I mean?
I'd rather I'm for bass because I'm normally a guitar player, or I'm fully dedicated, but for bass I just want to get something that looks cool. That's it.
Okay, well, thanks, Alex and Ryland, for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Now, if they want to check out the new album, when's it coming out?
Well, it's coming out October 23rd. It's called Viva La Cobra, or they can go to cobrastarship.com or myspace.com/Cobra Starship if they want to pre-order the record or look at some. We got a lot of new web content of us goofing around, being us,
Being
guys,
doing stuff.
Awesome, thank you. Well, thanks for joining me at GearWire.com. I'm here with Cobra Starship in New York.
There you have it.
Thank you.